So Roxanne, Lionel, and myself, we wanted this 90-minute webinar to be very practical. So this is what you're going to get today. You're going to get the Stormz template. So what is a template? It means a ready to facilitate Stormz meeting. And this template, you will be able to use it today after this webinar or tomorrow with your colleagues, with your friends, I don't know, with your family to practice your remote facilitation skills. And we want to start, we want to test something different, Roxanne. We would like this to be a community thing, this learning experience, right?
Yes, absolutely. And actually, we created a Facebook group. So I don't know, Alex, if you're going to show it.
Yes.
But in this group, we have a lot of facilitators. So if you have any question, you can ask a question about Stormz in it. If you have any struggle, if you have any successes facilitating with Stormz, please, you can share in it. And a lot of facilitators will answer and advise you.
Yeah, so I'm going to share the link with you in the follow-up email of this webinar. Before we start, a little bit about the etiquette. So again, there is a lot of you here. I think we are about 100. So please keep your microphone muted. And except, of course, if we ask you something. Also, you will have the opportunity to ask a lot of questions at the end. So remember, it's a 90-minute webinar. So the Q&A session will be, if I'm on time, it will be at 6:05, something like that. So yeah, keep on mute, except if we ask, then you will have to click on unmute, then you can speak, and the question at the end. So let's start, and I'm going to share my screen. So this is my screen, and by the way, this is the facilitator group on LinkedIn. And this is what the template looks like. So this is how it looks like when you upload a template into your Stormz account. And don't worry, we will show you how to do that before the end of the webinar. But right now, I just want you to look. So I've chosen this template and I've made it on purpose for this webinar because it's typical to a lot of meetings. You can use it in a lot of contexts. So as you can see here, it starts with an icebreaker, and a lot of you have already started to do this activity. Then you have something that is called the expectation cloud, and it's a way to share the expectations with the participant of your meeting. Then, and I'm going to hide it, you see that I can hide and unhide the activity. Then, sometimes you're going to speak about a topic, and today we speak about remote facilitation, and you want to engage your audience with a fun quiz about this topic. So this is something that, again, you will be able to use. Of course, not this specific quiz, but you will be able to customize it to your topic. Then they will be ready, your participants, for an ambitious brainstorming to find ideas. So this is this activity here that is in the template. It's a brainstorming with divergence, convergence, development of ideas, etc., etc. And then in this template, I've added a last activity, which is the reflection activity, where you finish your meeting by reflecting on how it went, what was good, what was not so good, and how we can improve the next meeting. So this is the template that we're gonna look today, and this webinar is about training you not to Stormz, but to using this template tomorrow to be able to practice Stormz and to practice your remote facilitation skills. So, and I'm going to start right now. So let's say that you have uploaded the webinar, the event. This is called an event here. And of course, you want to customize it. So here you can customize your event. And one of the first thing you want to do when you upload the template is to change the name. So let's say that now it has started. So I want to change the name of the event. And I click on save. And you see it has changed on my screen, but normally also on your screen. Then you don't want to have the Stormz logo on all your meetings, right? So you can change that again. And I'm going to remove the background, and I'm going to add another background. And should be here. Yeah, I want this one. And let's hope it's going to upload quite quickly. Yes, it does. And then I want to see always the little character here on the right. So I want it to be aligned here on the right. So you see now I have something totally customized. Then what do you need to make a collaborative workshop? Well, you need to invite the participants. And you would do that like that. There is a 9-digit code that you can give to the attendees so that they can join your event, or you can put their emails here, write down a little message, and send the invitations that way. So it's very simple. And then you just have to make sure that your first activity is displayed. You see that you can hide and unhide the different activities by clicking here. So this is what Stormz is about, by the way. It's really a facilitation tool. You only show to the participants what they have to do at the moment that they have to do. This way, you make sure even if you have 100 people in your virtual room, they cannot go into the other activities and they cannot get lost. So that was your first learning. What is a Stormz event, how you can customize it to your colors, and how you can hide and unhide the activity. So now you've already started to do the icebreaker, and this is the icebreaker. And you've seen that I've used a specific technique that I call the soft startup. It's especially useful when you have a lot of participants. Soft startup. You open the activity before the meeting begins. And also it's a way for people to log onto the different platform and asynchronously so that you don't have to wait for everybody to log. And in Stormz, we have 3 main types of activities. We have the quiz, the workshop, and the socializer. So today we will show you the quiz and the workshop because the socializer is for face-to-face only. So let's start with the quiz. And this is a quiz here, and you can see this activity is a quiz because of this little symbol here. So the quiz is great for surveys, quizzes, quick questions, and as you have seen, fun icebreakers. So let me show you how I would use this activity when doing my workshop. So I can click here. You see the little icon to go directly in what we call the presentation mode. And you see that I share my screen with you, the participants. And when I want to debrief a result, you go onto Zoom to look at the result on my shared screen. And when you need to input something, you go onto your browser on Stormz, and then you do the input. And we go back and forth like that. It's very simple. So I click on the icon, and now I go into the, I go full screen so that it's more beautiful. And here I've already shown you the results, but this is what the question when it appears. And when I want to show the result, there is this little icon here. Okay, I can press the R key and it displays the results. And you see here all the different superpowers of everybody. So let me have a look at some of this. I saw one, and I think I know the guy, Andrea. I'm a big talker. I can bore to death anybody, anytime. So Andrea, are you here? Can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hello. So tell me how you use this superpower in real life.
Do you have sit tight? Do you have some time now?
No, I have 20 seconds for you.
That's okay. That's okay. But I mean, I can bore you to death in 20 seconds as well. It's just about not stopping to talk and talk and talk until you going to fall on your chair and bang your head on the table and you're going to die.
Okay, Roxanne, please mute Andrea now, please. Hopefully, in a webinar, you can mute Andrea so that he cannot bore us to death. Let's have a look at some of the others. Oh, this one is, oh my God. Delphine, you can see innovation through minds. Delphine, can you unmute yourself and tell us what it means?
Hello, could you hear me?
Yes, Delphine.
Hi. You know, each time I kind of see somebody, I see something totally innovative and emerging coming out of them. So I never see traditional things. It's always new and different.
Excellent. Thank you, Delphine. And let's have very quickly, because again, it's not a real workshop that we're doing. It's just to give you an insight and a perspective of how we can do that. If it was a real workshop, I would spend a lot more time to go through these answers. Let me see. Oh, panna cotta, very useful. Yeah. Again, reading people's mind. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, this is Lionel. Let's find Gerardo. I know you. Drawing again. Patience. Insights. Doodling. Lots of illustrators. Okay. Chiara. I don't know if you're Italian. Chiara, your superpower is jumping in like a whale. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Can you unmute your mic and tell me?
Oh, yes.
Hello,
Can
Chiara.
you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you more, or I can also.
Yes, just tell me what it means, jumping like a whale.
Oh, it's something like.
And how do you use that?
I use that to surf on the surface and also to go deeply, because for me whale has these two sides that are so useful.
Okay, so thank you, Chiara. I let you mute yourself again. And okay, so you see the point. You see how this simple open question, you can have a discussion and start breaking the ice with the participants. And so again, I press R to get back to the question and remove the results, or I can have this here, only this little bar. And now I'm going to press the down arrow key to go to the next question. And oh, I forgot. So these are without the result. And when I press, now I have the results. How do you feel? A lot of you have sunglasses, so you feel like stars. Some of you are not so happy. Yeah, I would like to have, 19% of you have stars in the eyes. Maybe one of you who voted for stars in the eyes. Can you unmute yourself and tell me what it means?
I can. This is Susan.
Hello, Suzanne.
Hi. For me, it meant I'm excited because I feel like even though we're in a strange new world, there's some opportunity that's new and different.
Excellent. Thanks, Suzanne. And by the way, nice to see you again. So this was how I can facilitate a quiz. And the thing I wanted to tell you is that you were able to do this quiz at your own pace. You were able to do the first question and then the second question at your own pace. This is called the asynchronous mode. And I'm just going to give you a small insight of how you put that option in the interface. So when I'm going to exit here, I'm going to edit the question. And you see that this is how you edit the question. Then I'm going to click here and I have my list of questions. This is the main screen. And this is very simple. This is how you design a quiz. You add questions. And for each question, is it an open question, multiple choice question, etc. But here you have the options. And in the options, this is where you can tell this is an synchronous quiz or an asynchronous quiz. And also you can let people go see the previous question or not. So Stormz is there is plenty of little things like that that enables you as a facilitator to really enforce the kind of dynamic that you would like. Okay. So that was about using the first quiz activity in Stormz. You've seen how it looks like. You've seen how to facilitate it. You've seen how to change it from sync to async. A lot of things already. But now I've spoken a little bit too much. And my next step is about why are we here together? And notice that I've already asked you the question when you were registering, but I thought that it might be interesting for you to share between all of you why you are here. And also, it's a great excuse to show you a very powerful feature of Zoom, the virtual breakout room. So, how are we going to do that? Very simply, in a few seconds, I will press on a button, well, 2 or 3 or 5 buttons, and I'm going to select the randomized virtual breakout in Zoom. And you will have less than 5 minutes to meet with the other guys in the virtual room. So it will be the opportunity for you to unmute yourself and have a quick discussion with the other ones. And 5 minutes later, you're going to be redirected to the virtual plenary. Okay, so what I do, I'm going to show you, I cannot show you because you cannot share the Zoom control to the other participants. But what I do is I click on breakout rooms, and then I select the number of rooms that I can create, virtual rooms. And now you are about 95%. So I'm going to create 30 rooms so that you are 3-4 participants per room, and Zoom will do an automatic distribution. And I'm going to click on create rooms. So now I have the list of all the rooms, and I have the option that you're going to move into the room automatically. And then I'm going to open all the rooms. And when I click on open all the rooms, normally you have an invitation to join the breakout room. So just accept the invite, and in 5 minutes, you'll come back. Hello, you are back.
Ooh, what a journey.
Absolutely.
So I hope that you enjoyed meeting with the others. And obviously, again, if it was a real workshop, we would take more time for this kind of thing, but you just get a glimpse of the kind of thing that we can do. So I don't know if you remember, so when you registered to this webinar, I asked a question about your expectations, and it helped me prepare the meeting. But usually it's also something that I ask at the beginning of my meeting when it's something more casual or with less people. And this is the aim. So can you still see my, my screen? This is the aim of this second activity here. And I'm going to activate it again. I click on the little eye icon, and now every one of you can join this activity. But for the moment, stay with me. So this activity is very powerful, and it's the example of, you see the little light bulb. So it's a workshop type of activity, and it's the simplest type of workshop. When you click on it, well, I have already uploaded all your expectations. So there is a way in Stormz to import some content into a workshop so that you can prepare some stuff before. And again, that's something that is great when you're doing virtual meetings, is that you have to ask yourself, what are the things that we can do before? And this way, you gain time because writing down the expectation might not be very interesting, but sharing and discussing about the expectation is much more interesting. So this is the Insight Cloud. It's just like a word cloud, but much better. Look, if I click on a word, so for example, refresher. I would like to know what are the verbatims behind the refresher word. So I click on it, and here I see that a lot of people want a refresher on the platform. So it means that a lot of people here, they already know Stormz, and they haven't been practicing for some time. I don't know why. And they need to know a little bit more about the new stuff on the platform. And then you can come back like that. And you can see some other words to discover effective ways. The virtual workshop effectiveness. Here it's a good example because our Insight Cloud is a little bit smart because it knows how to combine effective and effectiveness, for example, and effectively. So you see, so this is really powerful. You ask a question, and here, of course, I asked the question before, but in a workshop, it could be the first step of this workshop. Ask a question, saw the result in an Insight Cloud, and then drill down into the different verbatims, and then facilitate a discussion, which I'm not going to do right now to gain some time, but facilitate a discussion with your participants. The great thing also, contrary to a lot of competitors, is that this Insight Cloud is also on your screen, meaning you can see the words, you can click, and for example, we could do a voting step after that. So it's really part of the application. It's not only a visualization stuff, it's really a collaboration tool. So as we are about the expectation for this webinar, what I want to say is that it's not a training. We don't have the time for a full Stormz training. It's neither an extensive review of the different features. It's not a presentation, and it's not a real meeting because everything is accelerated. The discussion time will be minimum. What I wanted to create here is an interactive experience, is a way to show you some possibilities. And also with this template here, this is a practical training tool for you to start practicing today or tomorrow in a safe way with colleagues or friends or family. Okay, so if I had to remember one thing about this is that not everything has to be done during the meeting. Some stuff can be done before and some stuff can be done after. And when you design your meetings, you have to think about that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the next activity, which is a fun quiz. So we're going to see the quiz again, and you see this is the quiz activity. So I wanted to show you a fun quiz. So can you, again, I click here to facilitate the quiz. And I'm going to go full screen. And this is a presentation slide. What are the rules of engagement? It's a competitive quiz that you're going to do right now. If your answer is correct, you will get 1 point. If you're one of the quickest, the 10% quickest, you're going to get the bonus point, okay? This is how you can win and be able to put the sunglasses, okay? So now what I would like you to do is to move onto your browser. You've got 5 seconds to do that. And then we're going to start with the first question, okay? So go onto your browser, go into the quiz, of course. Right now, you should see the rules of engagement. And in 5 seconds, I'm going to move to the first question of the competitive quiz. Are you ready? Can I see your thumb up on the different? Yeah, good. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First question. What is the most cited technical failure mode of a video conference? And you see that I have a very relevant picture for that. The audio is bad, the video is bad. Okay, we're gonna see the result later.
It says the question is locked.
Okay,
yeah, it's locked.
Sorry, now it's unlocked. You can go. Okay. I have 72 answers. 76. Okay, I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to lock again. So I press the L on my button on my keyboard, and then I'm going to show the result. You can stay on your screen, or I'm going to tell you them. So 61% of you told me that the audio is bad, and that is true. This is the most cited technical failure mode of a video conference. So I hope that you can hear me okay today. And we have a cool feature in the quiz is that I can show who had the bonus point. So the bonus point, was to Sebastian, Nick, Joe, and Karel. And then we had a lot of you who had, of course, a good answer. So I'm not going to do that with all the question. We're going to go faster now. Okay, so are you ready? I'm going to move to the next question. Okay, let's go. Which of these video conferencing platform propose a virtual breakout room feature? So on my screen, I can see that already 60 of you have voted. Okay, in 5 seconds, I'm going to lock that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lock. Now you cannot answer. So the results are, yeah, Zoom. All of you are correct. And then WebEx, but only WebEx training can do some breakout rooms. Then you have Blue Jeans. Only 1.3% of you knew that. But this is a correct answer. Blue Jeans enables breakout rooms and also go-to training. So it's not only Zoom. Zoom is very well known for that, but you have all the tools on the market to do that. So that gives the bonus point to not a lot of you. Oh, not a single one of you had all the answers. Okay, that was a difficult one. I know it was a tricky one. That's a question from a French guy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Go. Which is the simplest remote setup to organize and facilitate? 100% remote, like today with everybody in a different room, multiple rooms, where you regroup people in different rooms and you connect the rooms, and hybrid, where you have a mix of everything. Let's go very quickly. And I'm going to lock and have a look at the results. 70% of you are right. The 100% remote is much easier to organize. Multiple room is easier than hybrid. Hybrid is the most complex one because you have very different experience. The one guy that is alone has absolutely a different experience for the 3 or 5 people that are in the same room. And it's very difficult to design a meeting that take care of both experiences in a great way. What are the 3 types of activities in Stormz? And I've told you that at the beginning of this webinar. So I'm going to see if you listen to me. Or maybe it will mean that you listen to me, but you don't understand my French accent. Yeah, Asma, don't laugh like that. I can see you. Okay, I'm gonna lock, and the results. Yeah, you're right. Workshop, quiz, and socializer. And we're gonna see the workshop and the quiz today. Let's go to the next one. Stormz works on large touchscreen, laptop, tablet, smartphones, Apple Watch, and Google Glasses. Which one of those? And there is a little hint on the picture. By the way, if you click on a picture, you can put it in big. Sometimes it's useful if there are some important information in the illustrations. Okay, I'm gonna lock now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lock. Again, I'm going quicker than usual. And the results, you're totally right. It doesn't work on Apple Watches. It would be cool, but it's not working. And it doesn't work on Google Glasses. Maybe an R&D project for us. Who is Roxanne?
I'm giving you the answer. I'm a great coder, especially in JavaScript. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm gonna lock now.
I have some drawings to show just afterwards, Alex.
Okay, okay. This is the last question. So I'm gonna lock now and the results. So she is indeed a Stormz expert, one of the best, and I love to work with her. She's an experienced facilitator, and she's not my wife. My wife is in the other room, and and she's also one of the superheroes in the Stormz team. And she's not really a great coder. The great coder in the team is called Paul, by the way. Okay, so now you can move back to the shared screen on Zoom, and I'm going to show you who is on the leaderboard. So I just have to click here, and wow, we have 2 winners with 6 points, Aurélie Millet and Nick.
Well done.
So Aurélie and Nick, can you unmute and say the winner's word?
Hey, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you. It's an honor. I can't wait to receive the prize. Thank you so much. And your
So
work.
I think that we will offer you an additional coupon so that you can use Stormz even more. To
Thank
both
you
of
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is how you can use a quiz. When you put some correct answers, you can engage the audience with a quick quiz like that. It can also be on very serious matters, or it can be on totally fun topics. You can do whatever you want. So when I want to exit and get back to the event, I click here on the exit button. And I am back into my event for the webinar. So now we're gonna go. We've seen the quiz, and now we're gonna look at the workshop. The workshop is really the most powerful activity in Stormz. It's very flexible. You can do simple stuff such as a quick stop kit start retrospective or a very sophisticated brainstorming. It has really some unique features that you won't find in other applications on the market, especially the ones that call themselves brainstorming, but it's really the level 1 of brainstorming. So let's have a look. So again, now I'm going to activate the workshop. And you can see it's a workshop activity because of the light bulb. And we're going to do a little brainstorming. So I ask for some ideas of challenge that we could use for the test of this brainstorming. And Susan, she proposed me something. So let me show you. I'm going to go into the workshop. And right now, the challenge is not written. So I'm just going to click here on the title. I'm going to paste the challenge that we're going to work together. So the challenge we're going to work together is how might we change our perspective to find opportunity amid the current crisis? Thank you, Susan, for proposing that. And Asma, thank you for the other one. It was great too. So can you please go back on your browser, get inside the workshop, and you see right now that you only have one button, the Add a Card button. And what I would like you is to think about the challenge question and write down as many ideas as you can about how might we change our perspective to find opportunity. And just like with Post-it notes, you're going to write down one idea, one card. Okay, so let's go. Let's take, I won't give you a lot of time, just a couple of minutes to write down as many ideas as you can, and you go for quantity, you defer your judgment, and you encourage wild ideas. And here you can see the ideas from all the others, and I'm going to change that because I don't want you to be influenced. So right now I'm changing the settings live so that you can see only your own idea and that you are not influenced by the others. So what I'm going to do now is move to the next step of this workshop. And in Stormz, there is a very powerful step system. So I just click on the instruction. I click on the second step, and I'm going to move you to the next step. And while doing that, all of you, you're going to be moved to the step where we see the ideas. So again, stay on your browser. And in this step, we're going to regroup the ideas by common themes. We're not going to do it. We're just going to do it for one theme, just to make sure that you understand the kind of features that we have. So I'm going to first find the first idea. Okay, so someone has already put one idea. Learn from the animals. Is there anything on the left column that you can see that is similar to this one? And I'm going to put an easier one, utilize technology here. And if you see similar things to the first card, please feel free to put them into the columns. So I see that you are playing with interface. Okay. So I'm going to stop you here because this is just a way to see that you can cluster the idea. You can also do some other things. You can set aside some of the ideas. You can merge ideas that are similar in meaning. You can do a lot of stuff, but it takes time. And as it is a demo, we won't have the time to do that. So right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop that activity and I'm going to move you to the next step. And the next step is about voting on the most promising ideas. So I'm going to click, and now you are directed to the next activity, that is the €100 budget game. So imagine that you, and I'm going to change that. I prefer to do it like that. So again, one of the strengths of Stormz is that you can change on the fly. So right now, I've given you a €100 budget normally, and you should be able to vote on all the ideas that you think are the most relevant. So the way it works is that you browse through the different ideas, you click on a card, and then you have a plus and a minus button. And if you click in between, you can select, for example, €75. You click, it validates instantly, and you can click outside the card to close it and do it again on another card. So if you don't know Stormz, what you might have not seen is that, first of all, we have randomized the order of the cards. Not a single one of you has the same order of cards, so that you don't have a reading bias. Also, you shouldn't be able to see what the other people have voted. And so that you are not influenced by the vote of others. So I know that you don't have a lot of time to do that for real, but again, just a demo. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds. Okay. So now I'm going to move to the next step, and instantly you're going to see the results of the voting. Okay. So yeah, same for me. Okay. So like that. So you should be able to see the bar chart here with the different with the different result of the votes. So this is one of the benefits of using a tool like Stormz, is that instantly, even if you have 100 participants, you are able to accumulate all the votes. And if you look here on the card view, you see you have another way of seeing the different results. So here, what you can see here, can you see my screen?
Yes.
The main thing that I think are different with the workshop in Stormz is that first of all, it's very simple for the participants. You just have to click on add a card or click on the plus button to do the vote. So you don't have to deal with, you know, zooming or panning on an infinite canvas and stuff like that. The second thing with a workshop is that you can program it in advance. So this is the program that I've created for this workshop. And you see that I have all the different steps. And the only thing that I had to do during the workshop was to go from one step to the other. And of course, if I want to change something, I can change something. It's flexible like that. But at least I just have to click on the next step. The third thing that is great about the workshop is that you can decide very precisely what the participant can do and can see at any time. So, for example, if I look at the voting here, I can edit the step, and you will see that you have plenty of options. And here, the only thing that they can do is vote on cards, and they cannot see the result of the vote, so that they cannot see what other people are doing. But if I wanted, I could tell them that they can add comments, and maybe they could add a card at the same time that they vote. I can really do what I would like to do. And you know, in real life, there is not one way of doing stuff. Every workshop is different, and this flexibility is very important. The fourth thing that is great with the workshop is the vote settings. You've seen the €100, but there are plenty of ways of setting up the vote. You can have positive points and negative points. You can have a budget like we did, or no budget, unlimited points. Here we limited the number of points per card to 100, but it could have been 10 or 50. You can really enforce the dynamic that you would like. The other thing that is great about Stormz, and it's this step, so this is where we are going, is that we have what we called, and I'm going to do it in normal mode, we have what we call the sections. So you see here that in a card, you can go from the seed of idea, and you can answer the questions to really develop the ideas in detail. So you could add the pluses, you could add the concerns and the problems, or you could and then you could look at the plus and look at the concerns of everybody, and then work on the potential ways to overcome the concerns. These sections here, I have defined them in my admin, and I can really do what I want again. So these are my sections here. And when I click in my admin, I can add some new sections, I can edit them, etc., etc. This feature is very unique to Stormz. You won't find it in other applications. Another thing that is really great about Stormz is the Insight Cloud, but you have already seen it. It's integrated in the workshop. It's available to all the participants. It's clickable. It's filterable by subgroups, etc., etc. And finally, one cool thing is that you have the exports. As you can see here, you can export it in a Word document. You can export it in an Excel file, so that you have all the data in a structured format. I mean, when you have the ideas within the categories, you have the answers to the sections inside the cards. You can really do whatever you want. So after that, no more session of transcribing sticky notes after the workshop. So all of that was all the reasons that explain why Stormz is a great tool for brainstorming, for retrospective, for decision making, and stuff like that. It's very simple for the participant, and yet very effective for the facilitator. So what I would like to do is to activate the last workshop, which is this one. And I would like to put you again into breakout rooms so that you can discuss and share your feelings about Stormz. So what you can do is that you can enter the reflection meeting. You can discuss in subgroups what you like the most, what you still wonder, the things that you might have learned, and then one final keyword to close the session. So again, I'm going to create the breakout rooms and open all the rooms, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Yeah, I think that we are all back now. Can you show me your thumb up just to show me that you are here, you are alive still? Great.
Well, currently we are 2, so I would say that to be more comfortable, I would say that it's better to be 2. However, it depends on the complexity of the setup that you want to do, because right now, well, we are using the chat. We are asking Lionel to do some drawings. I'm also answering to some emails of people asking questions in the meantime, stuff like that. So we have quite a complex setup, so we are 2, but you can also do that by yourself if you're just using Zoom on one side and Stormz on the other, and maybe also if you have fewer participants.
Of course, yeah. Right now there is 100 participants, so it's a little bit more complex than when you have 5 or 6 or 10 or 12. So yeah.
Yeah. If you're used to having like up to 30 participants, let's say, something like that, or maybe if you have a more precise number, Alex, to give, if you have something in your mind.
For online meeting, my approach is always to sell to facilitators, to sell or to organize with 2 facilitators, because it's less stressful. I know I can rely on Roxanne, and it's also more lively in terms of facilitation and presentation. But if it's a small group, obviously 1 person is enough. Less than 7 people or 10 people, yeah.
Well, as I said, on our website, you simply, basically, you can simply add your card or bank detail and get a subscription directly from the platform. So you don't even need to call us or whatever to get a subscription. You can do it directly from the website. So
yeah, I'm very shy when it comes to talking money, so I prefer that you directly put the credit card on the website. That's a great question. Can you hear the sound here? Yes. I mean, I could be at Hollywood doing sound effects, right? So what you have to know when you use Zoom is that when you share your screen, there is an option to also share the sound of your laptop. So just click on that checkbox, and then the sound that you're going to play on your laptop are going to be broadcasted to the participants, which enables to play music and stuff like that. It's not the most reliable way of playing music I've seen in my life. There is some sound issues. You really have to make some tests before. This is my only warning.
Actually, we do not brief people ahead. We just show them how to use the different features just before they use them. So basically, just like Alex did, we're gonna say, okay, let's use the vote. How do we do? And then we're going to show like this how to use the vote, and then we let them do it. So each time they're using a new feature on Stormz, we are showing how to use it. Because even if it seems easy sometimes, or even very easy for some people, you never know in front of you how comfortable people are with the tool. So we always show beforehand. So actually, we have several ways to help you to use Stormz. Either when you're going to create your account, you're going to have a step-by-step workshop which shows you where are all of the different features. And you also have in the help section, you have a tutorial which you can do. And then from there, our main advice is to start creating some workshops and get used to it. As you may know, Stormz is offering a 1-month free subscription where during which you can invite up to 10 people. So you can create as many workshops as you wish and invite all of these people so that you can get, you know, a bit of training.
There is a serious question. So for serious question, I have that. What's happening to my data and where is the server? So the data is stored in a high-end data center in the south of Paris with all the secure process in place. So it's in Europe, which might be a problem for guys working with military in the US, for example. But it's a pro for people working for a government or agency in Europe. Also, you can delete a workshop right after a session. You can export the data and delete the workshop and nothing will stay on the server. So sometimes when we are doing some very sensitive stuff, because we are working with some militaries, we're working with big companies that are very sensitive when it comes to their data, we do the workshop, we export everything, we double check that we have everything in the export, and then we delete the workshop. And the workshop is totally final. So we cannot recover the data if you delete the workshop by mistake. You do that here. You see it's in red. Red means dangerous. And you have to click 2 times because you have to confirm. Zoom and Stormz are totally separate. So the only way for me to show you Stormz inside Zoom is to share my screen.
Okay, so every time we saw questions, etc., was when you shared your screen.
Yes, exactly. This is the main way that we integrate. The facilitator share his or her screen to all the other participants, and it shows the questions, it shows the result of the quiz, or it shows the, and every time we do a debrief, I ask the people to go onto Zoom, and every time there is an individual work or a breakout work, people go on their browser, use the Stormz interface, write down their answers and discuss together. And then we go back to Zoom with the screen sharing to debrief and to move on. There is the final word here. I'm going to go into the Inside Cloud, and I'm going to select only the final word. And this is going to be the picture for the end of this webinar. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for staying so late. And thank you for giving me all this natural energy through les canaux of internet. And I wish you a great success with your sessions. And of course, if you have some other questions, you know where to find us. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.